Hey guys, just bringing you a deck profile from Team-TGA-YuGiOh. This is a Subterror deck profile, as you can probably see, and this is just my take on how I believe the deck can be built. It's done pretty well. It's not the most powerful deck out there, but it can definitely put up a fight against, well, especially the current meta after the ban list. Okay, so we'll start off with our 2 Nemesis Warrior and our 2 Nemesis Archer. Now, I only played 2 Warrior because I believe you only need 2. Its effect is that you can send a Subterror Behemoth from your deck to the graveyard, and then tribute this card and one other monster equal to that monster's level, and then special summon that monster from the graveyard. Its other effect is that when a Subterror Behemoth monster is flipped face up, when it's in the graveyard, you can special summon Nemesis Warrior to the field from your graveyard. Subterror Nemesis Archer is just, well, it's not too bad. I've cut it down to 2, but I think we need more than 1 because there are times where the only thing you can do is put an archer on the field, and archer can help get your plays going, or at least keep you alive for a turn. Its effect is when it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Subterror monster from your deck in face up or face down defense position. You can only use that effect once per turn, and at the start of the damage step, if this card attacks an opponent's defense position monster, or face down defense position monster, and you control another Subterror monster, you can shuffle that opponent's monster into the deck. So, you know, pretty handy against problematic monsters that you somehow manage to flip face down. Alright. Next, we have our 3 Subterror Fiendess. Now, this is definitely the MVP of the deck. It's your it's your everything negation. Because if your opponent activates a card or effect and you control a face-up Subterror monster, you can target that monster, flip it face down, and negate whatever effect your opponent just activated. Now, it doesn't destroy the card, so some stuff will still stay on the field, but it's solid as against strikes and things like that. Its other effect is when it's on the field, you can flip a Subterror monster face down, then special summon a Subterror monster from your hand or graveyard. You can flip itself face down and still get the special summon. I thought that you wouldn't be able to, but apparently you can. I looked it up and yeah, so there you go. Next, we have our 3 Stalagmo. Subterror Stalagmo is pretty good. It's a decent enough beat stick, and it's got a good effect. It's your draw power of the deck, basically, so you can flip it face up, discard a Subterror monster and draw 2 cards. And then it's got the generic Subterror Behemoth effect, where it flips itself face down during your main phase if you want it to. Yeah, I play it at 3, most people seem to play it at 2, but I really like draw power, and I think it's better at 3. Next is our Subterror Behemoth Ulmastrix. This is basically your spot removal of your deck. It's not bad. It's not the greatest because it's got really low attack for what it is. Decent defense though, 2700 defense, so big booty. And when you flip it face up, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and banish it. So I think that's pretty good. Okay, next we've got our one-off behemoths. So the 1 Ultramathus, the 1 Stego Kraken, and the 1 Phosphoro Glacier. Ultramathus is basically a Book of Eclipse without giving your opponent any draws. When it's flipped face up, you change all monsters on the field to face down defense position. I suppose, is it Superconductor Tyranno would do the same thing. Subterror Behemoth Stego Kraken is good for your getting rid of back row, and it's definitely good against mirror matches. When you flip it face up, you can destroy as many set cards on the field as what Subterror monsters you have face up. So it's a lot. Including itself as well, so you don't have to have another one face up to destroy a back row card. And Phosphoro Glacier is, when you flip it face up, you can send one card from your deck to the graveyard. Now this is good for things like Glow Up Bulb, or if you have no targets left for things like Instant Fusion, you can just ditch it to the graveyard and get it out of the way. Yeah, it's not just a monster, it's any card in your deck you can send to the graveyard. Alright, so that's those out of the way. Next we got our little staple cards, I guess. Our 3 Gofu. The reason I'm playing Gofu instead of the Brilliant Engine or the Pretty Plant Engine is because you can get your Link monster out. And then if you've got an Instant Fusion in your hand as well, you get your Link monster, and then you can play get some Ultimate Zulkin plays going. Get your Crystal Wing out, and then Crystal Wing is just base. So, alright, so there's those. Next we have our 2 Ghost Ogre and the 1 Glow Up Bulb. Ghost Ogre because hand traps, and you know, it's just disruption, which is great. And Glow Up Bulb would be for Beast, but I don't actually own a Beast at the moment, but it still comes in handy for things like Formula Synchron and even Sylvan Princess Sprite. Okay, so on to the spells. Next we've got our field card, our 3 Hidden City. Now, if you're not playing 3 of this, then you shouldn't be playing the deck. It's pretty simple. When you activate this card, you can add 1 Subterror monster from your deck to your hand, so it's your Searcher. When your opponent declares an attack and you have a face down Subterror monster, you can flip it face up and negate the attack, or not negate the attack depending on how strong your monster is. And once per turn you can flip 1 face down monster on your side of the field into face up attack position. Or into face up attack or defense position. And that's really good for when you summon or special summon things face down, and then you can flip it face up, get its effect straight away and not have to wait. Each of these effects are only once per turn though, so use them wisely. We have our next 3, which are Terraforming for obvious reasons. You need your field card, so Terraforming is the best. Next we have 3 Instant Fusions. This is basically to get your, I use Full Metal Foes Alcahest, but most people use Restrict, or Thousand Eyes Restrict. And I also have the 2 Invoked Raging, because you can flip itself face down, then it's not destroyed by the effect of Instant Fusion, which is great. And it comes in handy in other situations as well. Okay, next we got the 2 Pot of Desires, because Pot of Desires is cheap right now and good. And like, it doesn't really matter if you banish certain stuff, as long as you can get basically like 1 or 2 Fiendish, a Hidden City, and a Nemesis Warrior, then the rest you can just sort of interchange with each other. Like, it doesn't matter if you banish all 3 Stalagmos or 2 Stalagmos and Ultra Mathis or whatever, you can usually recover quite well. Alright. And next we have our one-offs. We've got the 1 Dark Hole because September banlist. The 1 Soul Charge because plays for days. Reasoning because there's just so many different levels in this deck that there's no good reason not to play it. Foolish because you want Nemesis Warrior in the graveyard pretty quickly, and Glow Up Bulb, and just anything that you want to get out that's a monster that you don't want to draw, I guess. 1 for 1 for Fiendish or Glow Up Bulb depending on the situation. Just a banger card pretty much. And 1 Rhoda for your Nemesis Warriors. Now you only play 2 Nemesis Warriors, but Rhoda's really just in there so you can start thinning the deck out quite a bit. Also you have basically just so you can start thinning the deck out. Alright, thanks for that. God damn it. Alright, and now on to our traps. We're going to play 4 traps, which are the 3 strike. Now you don't have to play strike, you can change this out for the Subterror trap cards if you want. I only play 1 Subterror trap card, which is Final Battle. I would play more, but I just don't have the space and I want to keep it to as close to 40 as I can get it. Now, 1 should be enough because it flips the south back face down. And they have like twin twisters and stuff, but that's not usually a problem. Okay, so now on to the extra deck. We've got the 1 decode talker because Gofu is basically a 1 card decode talker. Mises Radiant because all the monsters in here are Earth type. Or all the Subterror monsters are Earth type, I should say. So it gives them all a boost. And you can add things like Archer or Fiendess back if it gets destroyed. Really easy to summon. The 2 Link Spider for Gofu. Because, yeah, you can tribute tokens to get it. It's just your basic play. Onto our fusions. We've got the 2 Raijin and the 1 Alkahest. Part of the reason I use Alkahest instead of Restrict is because I've got a rare Thousand Eyes Restrict and I have a secret Alkahest. And the 2 Raijin, you can target 1 face-up monster in the field, change it to face-down defense position. This is during either player's turn, so it is like a live Book of Moon all the time. And you can get it out with instant fusion, and you flip it south face down, and then it doesn't get destroyed. Or you can use it for your Zolkin plays with Gofu. Now, if you draw Gofu and instant fusion, you've got a Crystal Wing that turn pretty much. Alright. Now, next our synchros is we've got the 1 Zolkin, the Formula Synchron for Fiendess and Glow Up Bulb, Stardust Charge Warrior. Now that's only in there until I can get myself a beast. Once I have a beast, I'll be taking that out. And then the Crystal Wing. You only play 1 Dragon type for the Zolkin because the only thing you're ever going to go for is Crystal Wing. Let's be honest. Okay, now on to the Exceed monsters. 1 Big Eye, because don't you just love trolling your opponent? 1 Break Sword. If you can get this out when you've got an Archer on the field, you can pop your own Archer and get a Behemoth out, which is good. Invoker, because Invoker can get your Nemesis Warrior out, and then if you haven't Gofu'd and got a Link monster, you can tribute the Nemesis Warrior and Invoker to get Mises Radiant if you really want. And then the 1 Princess Sprite. Princess Sprite is alright. There's more spells and traps than there are monsters in here, so it makes more sense to run 1. You just detach 1 XYZ material from this card, excavate the top card of your deck. If it's a spell or trap, add it to your hand. If it's a monster, send it to the graveyard. Either way works for me. And that's the only effect really you use on it. It's a rank 1 as well. Alright guys, well, thanks for watching, and I apologise for the shoddy camera work. I'm doing it on a Samsung at the moment. I don't have a camera. I plan on getting one if the channel decides to pick up. We'll see. Alright, you guys have a good night, and thanks for watching. I'll be back with more deck profiles soon.